Hello everyone, this is Dr. Vivek Kumar from Department of Mechanical Engineering, School of Technology, Pandit Deendayal Petroleum University, Gandhinagar. In the last video, I have discussed the procedure generally used to perform concept testing. In this video, we will be applying the same procedure to test the concept developed for a new product. Let us assume that you are heading a design and development team for the e-Empower Corporation. It is a startup company which is thinking on developing a new product concept to address the personal transportation market. This image shows a photograph of a prototype of the product which you need to develop. The concept here is a three-wheeled electric powered scooter that can be folded and carried very easily. The team wishes to get the customer response to this concept in order to decide whether to proceed with its development or not. For the scooter, there were two primary consumer segments. One is the college student and another are the urban commuters. The team decided to form a survey population from both segments. The team has also identified several secondary segments including transportation within a factory and for airport employees. The following formats are commonly used in concept testing. They are face-to-face interaction, telephone, postal mail, electronic mail, and internet. These formats are already discussed in the previous lecture. The face-to-face format is the best survey method under given circumstances. The team themselves benefit from performing the interviews because they can directly observe the reaction to the product in detail. The reaction can be observed from the customer. The team can also hire a market research firm to conduct face-to-face interactions. When gathering data intended to be used in forecasting the demand, third parties are generally used to collect the data in face-to-face formats for the interviews. This is generally done to avoid sympathy bias towards our own product or concept. Before conducting concept testing, we need to be clear about or very specific about certain information. First one is the purpose of the concept test or what market we are looking for. Then the second information is the sample population. In the present case of scooter example, the sample population will be the college student who will be living in a 1 to 3 mile radius of a campus. Another sample population with the modes of the transportation within a factories. Then we have to be clear about the survey format which we need to adopt in concept testing. And in the present case, it will be face-to-face interview. In concept testing, the concept can be introduced to the customers in any one of the following methods or a combination from these following methods. The richness of the description of the concept tends to increase as we move from the verbal descriptions towards the working prototype. The verbal description of an electric power scooter can be read aloud by a person as follows. The product is lightweight electric scooter that can be easily folded and taken with you inside a building or on public transportation. The scooter weighs about 25 pounds. It travels at a speed up to 15 miles per hour and can go about 12 miles on a single charge. The scooter can be charged in about 2 hours from a standard electric outlet. The scooter is easy to ride and has simple controls, just an accelerator button and a brake. So in verbal description, we will only share or provide this information to the possible customers. We will not be showing any video or the video file, audio file or any model of any kind to the customers. There are many ways of communicating the concept to the customers or to the possible customers. Some of them are the sketches. Sketches are usually hand or software made lines, drawings showing the product as perspective image. This image shows a concept of the scooter. Photos and rendering techniques. Photographs can be used to communicate the concept when a physical model exists for the product concept. Renderings are nearly photorealistic illustrations of the concept. Rendering can be created with pen and markers or using computer-aided design tools. Here, this figure shows a rendering of a scooter created using a computer-aided design software. Storyboard is a series of images that communicate a sequence of action involving the usefulness of the product. For example, one of the potential benefits of the scooter is that it can be easily stored as a trolley bag and can be transported very readily. Video images allow even more dynamic representation of product than the storyboard. With video, the form of the product itself can be clearly communicated, as can the way in which the product will be used. The team can use the video of product while performing the face-to-face interactions as well. Another technique is the simulations. Simulations are created using software that produce the function or interactive features of the product. Simulations are not the ideal way to communicate the key features of a scooter, but in some cases, simulations can be very effective. For example, in testing controls for electronic devices, a visual image of the device can be created on computer screen, and then user can control the simulated device via a touchscreen or mouse click and can observe simulated displays and sound. Interactive multimedia combines the video with the simulation. Using multimedia, you can display video and still images of the product together. The customer can get view, verbal and graphical information and can even listen to the audio information. Interaction allows the customer to choose from several sources of available information on the product. Usually these information are available on the website of a company or kiosk or display installed at major public places. Physical appearance models are usually the look-like models. They display the form and the appearance of the product. They are often made of wood or polymer forms and are painted to look like real products. In some cases, limited functionality is avoided in these kind of models and they are known as the demo models. The scooter team will build several look-like models, one of which was articulated so that folding features can be demonstrated. And the last one is the working prototypes. When available, working prototypes, which also looks like the models, can be used in the concept testing. However, the use of working prototype is always risky, as it may lead to chances of disclosing the key features or the mechanism of product before it is launched in the market. The survey starts with face-to-face interaction. Then some screening questions are asked to identify the targeted customer. For example, initially it will be asked, how far do you live from the campus? If he is living more than 3 miles away from the campus, then we need to thank the customer and end the interview. But if the customer is a target customer, that is, it gives the response in favor of the product, that is, he is living less than 3 miles within the campus radius, then some additional questions such as how do you currently get to campus from home and how do you currently get around campus will be asked. These questions are asked to assess the need of the customer. If interviewer observe an opportunity for the product market, then survey is carried out by describing the product using various communication techniques such as verbal description, sketch, video, models, and another modes as discussed in previous slide. Finally, the purchase intent of the customer is observed by asking questions such as, if the product were priced according to your expectations, how likely would you purchase the scooter within the next year? And the options are, I would definitely purchase the product, I will probably purchase the product, product I would definitely not purchase, I would probably not purchase, I might or might not purchase the scooter. The response of the customer is recorded by ticking one of the available options. The relative placement of the option is also very important during the surveying. The option should be placed in such a manner that I would definitely purchase the scooter option will come to the notice of the customer in the first instance. After that, certain questions will be asked to get to know the demand, expected price, and suggestions for improving the performance of the concept. Some of these predefined questions in this regard can be as follows. What would you expect the price of the customer to be? What concern do you have about the product concept? Can you make any suggestion for improving the product concept? With this, the survey will be completed. The same procedure is repeated until the survey is completed for entire sample size of the customer population. The responses from the survey are now documented and data would be analyzed to forecast the demand of the product. Forecasting sales of new product is subject to great deal of uncertainty and usually exhibit high error. Nevertheless, forecasts are correlated with the actual demand and so provide useful information to the team. Now we estimate Q, the quantity of the product expected to be sold during a time as a product of N into A into P. Here N is the number of the potential customers expected to make purchase during this period. A is the fraction of the potential customers for which the product is available and the customer is aware about the availability of the product. P is the probability that the product is purchased if available and if the customer is aware from it. All these informations are gathered from the results collected by conducting the survey. FDP is the fraction of the survey respondent indicated in the concept test survey that they would definitely purchase the product. And probable represent the fraction of the survey respondent that they would probably purchase the product. CDEF represent the C definitely and CP represent C probably are the calibration constant based on the experience of a company with the similar product in the past. For the CDEF normally lies in the range of 0.1 to 0.5. C probable lies in the range of 0 to 0.25. In case of a new product or the lack of history of the product in the market, many teams uses the value of CDEF as 0.4 and C prob as 0.2. Now let us apply the developed forecasting model to predict the selling estimate or the quantity of electric power scooter to the college student. Based on survey conducted by E-Empower Corporation team, the number of the student traveling to university campus by scooter is approximately 20 million per year in the United States. A definitely would buy fraction is estimated as 0.1 and a probably would buy fraction is estimated as 0.05. Assume that the company plans to sell the scooter through bicycle stores which are near to the campus and advertise it in campus newspaper for the 100 largest college campuses in the United States. Based on this plan, the company expects that 30% of the students in the target market would be aware of the product and have convenient access to a dealer. If we use a value of 0.4 for definitely purchase and 0.2 for probably purchase, then the predicted quantity of electric powered scooter to be sold per year comes out to be around 30,000 units. That is a good number in the segment market. Now we will apply the same model to forecast selling quantity in factory transport market. Assume that the scooters are currently sold in this market at a rate of 1,50,000 units per year. Assume that the company sells the product through a single distributor that account for 25% sale of this category, meaning the value of A is 0.25. From the factory history, we get to know a definitely would buy fraction as 0.3 and probably would buy fraction as 0.2. If you use a value of 0.4 for definitely would buy fraction and 0.2 for probably would buy fraction, then the predicted quantity of electric powered scooter to be sold per year comes around to be 6,000 units per year in factory transport market. Once the forecasting model is executed, we need to reflect the result and process to check its adequacy. Even if the process is done accurately and enough, we cannot ensure it would be a successful product in the market. For example, a GoPed scooter company, which is selling a competitive product in the same segment, are currently selling only 1,000 gasoline-based scooter to the college student per year. Then how and why does the EM Power team would be able to sell around 30 times the product that will be sold by a competitive company? So there are some factors that needs to be incorporated in the forecasting model to avoid such mismatch situations. A few of these are importance of word of mouth or the enthusiasm of existing customers. That is, we need to incorporate the promotion of the product by the satisfied customer. Then the deviation of the concept from description, overpricing of the product, and the level of the promotions. These are the some of the examples as a result of which the expected price of the sale of the product differ from the actual sales. These factors needs to be incorporated while estimating the projected values or the projected sales for a new product to be launched in the market. All these examples of the exceptions have been discussed in detail in preceding video lecture on concept procedure testing. With this, I end this session. So far we have discussed benchmarking, establishing engineering specification, concept generation, selection and testing activity. The contents of unit 3rd of the product design and development have been thoroughly discussed now. If you have any query or suggestion, please do write in the comment section. In the next lecture, we will start with the discussion on concept embodiment process of unit 4.